I swear this video is gonna be way worse than the video I did last year. Alright, let's just get this over with. So last year I made this video which is talking about all the bad stuff that happened in the year 2020. But for now, I'm gonna do the same for this year in 2021. Now as you guys know, 2021 was not a good year this year, but it is actually kinda better than 2020. Although for some people, they may find this year way worse than 2020. But to me, I find it better than 2020. I mean, the year 2020 was a bad start to the 2020s decade, but so far it's still going pretty badly. But hey, at least things got better this year. Like, some of our favorite events that were postponed last year were able to continue, such as the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, the UEFA Euro Championships in 2021, the Eurovision Song Contest 2021, and the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference, which is pretty much all the events I know of, according to Wikipedia. Like, that's all the good events that I know of that happened this year. But now let's move on to the bad events that happened this year, like the COVID pandemic. I mean, once again though, the COVID pandemic is still happening to this day. I mean, we're still getting a bunch of cases going on in the world. I mean, for some countries, they're recovering from COVID cases, although for some countries, they're still getting a lot of cases going on. And because of that, some countries had to close their borders still and had to keep their restrictions up still, which is annoying still. Although for some countries it has gotten better than how things were last year. But that's not the only bad event that happened this year. Like, let's say the 2021 Israel-Palestine crisis, where Israel hits the Gaza Strip with airstrikes as human increases rocket fire. Somehow nearly 250 deaths happened in this crisis, and because of that, Israel has agreed to ceasefire deal to end conflict with Gaza militants. Which is a good thing to hear, although it's actually pretty sad how that sort of crisis actually happened. But that's not the only crisis that actually happened this year, like the 2021 Taliban offensive, where the government of Afghanistan had to surrender to the Taliban. But that's not all I could think of for this year, but there's also the Jumping Castle disaster, which happened in Devonport, Tasmania in Australia, which was at the 16th of December, where basically this primary school was celebrating its end of the year, and they had a jumping castle there, and a bunch of children were jumping on that jumping castle. But it wasn't until a huge gust of wind picked up the jumping castle in the air, along with the children that were on the jumping castle, and all the children that were on the jumping castle fell 10 meters to the ground, leaving 5 children dead, while others injured and have been rushed to the hospital, which once again is really sad. Like, even Scott Morrison described the accident as unthinkably heartbreaking, and I just can't help but feel bad to the parents who lost their kids in that accident, and I'm just gonna pay tribute to those kids who died in that accident. Although those kids who died in that accident are not the only ones that I'll be paying tribute in this video, but I'll also be paying tribute to those who died this year, but only the ones I know of. But once again, if there's anything I missed, please let me know in the comments. So the people who also died this year are Ed Asner, who was the voice actor for Carl in Up. I mean, I've always loved the movie Up. It was such a good movie. It's actually pretty enjoyable to watch, but also very sad. Another death that I know of is Antoine Fowler, who is the "well, we about to eat that kid," or the "you got cheese I can eat" kid. Like, you know that kid, right? Like,
"Well, we about to eat it."
I mean, he is such a funny kid though, but it's really sad to hear that he died though. Like, guys, we should all put a big huge F in the comment section for those that we lost this year. Those people may be gone, but they'll always be there for us in our hearts. So that's all I can talk about for this year in 2020, and it was actually a pretty sad year, but I just can't wait for this year to be over with, and then we could just move on to the year 2022, and hopefully things might get better in the year 2022 than what happened in this year? Like, is the year 2022 gonna be better than the year 2021, or it's gonna be worse than the year 2021, or it's gonna be similar to what happened in the year 2021? Well, to answer that question, I don't know. We just have to find out to see what sad events that might happen this year. So that's all I can say for now, and let's hope for something good to happen in the year 2022. So it's now time for the final countdown, and then we will move on to the year 2022. And hopefully you guys have any New Year's resolutions for 2022. As for me, however, there's this song that I'm working on that I want to share to you guys, and here's what it sounds like so far. What do you guys think of that? You like that? Well, it's still a work in progress so far, but I'll try to finish it for you guys, although I'm probably not gonna finish it all in one day, but I'll try my best to finish it for you guys. Okay, so enough of all that, let's just get on with the final countdown already. So goodbye 2021 and hello 2022. So let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year.